Hello, welcome to week 40 of Project 52, where we produce one new track for each week of the year 2025. This week I'm already actually pretty far along to production because I've had to prepare a project for a overview video of an upcoming plugin which is actually out by the time this video is released. So I guess I can just say that it's called Orbit, and this is a project, one of the projects that I made for the demos and for the overview video. So let's jump right in and I'll show you the project so far, and hopefully we can even finish the production and the track today. Alright, week 40. It sounds so weird to say that, but we are actually approaching the end of the year. What a journey it has been so far, so much fun. Alright, so this is the project. If you have already checked out the Orbit overview video that I should have released already by the time this is live, this is the same project. I actually am filming this right after I ended the recording for the overview. Anyway, that's a small backstory to this week's project and why we have so much stuff already in here. So as always, I'll first play the track in the state that it is currently, and then I'll show you all the tracks. There are quite many of them, but it shouldn't take a long time. I'll try to just go through them as quickly as I can, and then let's go back into the production and try to figure out what we are gonna do with the rest of the track. So without further ado, here is the track that we are working with this week. I hope you enjoy. So as you can hear, it's a bit different compared to the other stuff that we've done in the past. For one, we have a vocal. This is just a vocal I found from Splice. I don't even know what she's singing, but it sounds cool, so I'll just keep it here. And also, the time signature is super weird. So we are not going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But instead, we are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what that's called. If I just play you the track again, like just the melody, you can hear that it's, if you try to count with it, you can only get to 3 in the second bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, that's the track in its current state, and that's what we are working with. Let me go through quickly all the tracks that have gone into it so far, and then we'll jump back into production. So starting from the kick drum, we have actually kind of a unique kick as well. It's super like acoustic. I'm not used to working with these kinds of kicks. But what made it work in the track is actually the plugin that I was showcasing in this project. So Orbit, which is my latest plugin. It's a suite of 12 different modulation effects inspired by hardware. So the sound is very warm and thick and nice, very musical. What I used was the third phaser, and it made it somehow work much better in the mix than without it. And then without Orbit. We are missing the movement and also the presence that the heat knob is giving, so the heat is actually all the way up. The next thing is this percussion loop. Then we have something like this. Apparently we're using Orbit here as well. We're using the second chorus mode just to make it wider, I think. Yeah, now I think it's kind of fully mono. And now it's a bit wider and fits better in the mix. The next thing in the drums is a hi-hat loop, I think. It is. And it's also using Orbit. I just wanted to see what you can do with the plugin. You know, I already know what you can do with it, but I just wanted to make this like, try to use it as much as I can, and it really works on pretty much anything. So this is now first with Orbit, and then if I take it away, it's just not as present and interesting and wide and nice. All right, this is quickly turning into Orbit advertisement. I'll try to avoid that. The next thing is just a tambourine. I don't even have any processing in here. Then we have two rides. The first one is like this, and the second one is like this. Like this. And the first one is playing in the second half of this section for each beat. So it's going like this. Onto the basses, the first one is from Analog Lab, and I am using, wait, let's check. It's from Pigments, and I'm using Orbit here as well. And I'm actually using one of the factory presets, which is called Funky Bass, and it makes basses funky and sexy. So it sounds like this with Orbit. And then we have a respace. I'm using Orbit here as well, but I'm not gonna show how I'm using it for all of these. I'll just play you the tracks. So this is made in Faceplant, and it's kind of a Reese thing in the background, bringing some ambience. You can hear that I'm using a phaser here as well. Just makes things more interesting. Okay, then we have the main melody that I already played to you. This was the original idea of the track, which at first I thought was too cheesy, but then I added the vocal and it worked pretty well. So I ended up going with it. So this is from Analog Lab, also from Pigments apparently, and it goes like this. And then when we come into the part where we start using the vocoder in the vocals, we add another layer with the same MIDI, and it sounds like this. It's a bit wider and also a bit thicker with some more lower mids to kind of make everything sound super full. Then we have the kind of the bell melody for the first half. We are using only this sound in here, and then we add another layer in this section. So the first one sounds like this. And then the second layer in this section sounds like this. Also from Analog Lab. From DX7. And here we are using the reverse forward mode in delay to give that nice reverse sweeping delay ping pong thingy. Without delay. And then the last thing in the list group is from actually a plugin that I have never used before in this project, and it's from UJam, and it's the virtual guitarist Sparkle. And this is a guitar. It sounds like this. And it's actually low passed in first. And of course we are using Orbit to add some heat and some chorus to make it wider. And then in this second half we like change up the strumming to be more open, I guess. It works very nicely in the mix. Alright, then let's go into the effects group in which we have the vocals as well. I don't know why I put my vocals in the effects group, but they are here, and soloed the vocal sounds like this.
We can come back, but the time is gone. 'Cause I gave you my whole life, and instead you gave me nothing.
We have quite a bit of effects, and the main thing is the vocoder, which we add in this section. I've never used the vocoder before, the Ableton vocoder, and it sounds pretty good. So have a listen to this.
We can come back.
And then it goes a little bit differently
We
here.
can come back.
And then again a little bit differently.
We can come back.
And then lastly,
We can come back.
it sounds very good, I think. Then we just have a couple of sweeps and swoops and effects. This is the first one. Then we have a... Then we also have a... And also that is everything so far. Let's get back into production and try to figure out the rest of the track and the rest of the production. Today it's Friday. I'm trying to get the production ready very early on this week. So just the day before yesterday I released week 39, and that's because I am releasing Orbit next Wednesday, but that'll already be out when you see this video. So I'll just have to prepare all the marketing stuff and whatnot. So I'll try to get this week's video kind of ready as early as I can, so I am not in a rush at the start of next week. I don't know if that interests you at all and if you just want to see the production. So let's get right to it. I will first try to listen to this section and think of what like where we could take the track, and then I'll just probably start experimenting with ideas, and let's see where it gets us. I'm thinking of some sort of percussion to like get one more section of this, and maybe one more reinforcement layer to the melody. Now that I'm using the UJAM virtual guitar, I do have some of their other plugins as well, and I know that they have a like cinematic percussion plugin. I just don't remember what it's called. Is it this one? All right, it could be this one. Let's try to use this for the percussions. Oh my god. Are these a bit too epic, considering what the track is? Right, they're in a completely wrong place too. Can we get a shaker? No, maybe just a hi-hat or something. Alright, I think we need something wide and bright to make this really the high point of the track. And then let's add one more layer to the melody. Let's group these. And let's do the melody layer first. I'll use Phase Plant because I know what I want it to be. And now the kind of the pad thing, and this should be quite bright. I just started thinking that instead of doing a pad, could we do like an arpeggio in the background that would do something like, or something like that, you know? That could be cooler and would fit maybe the track a bit better. By the way, I've not done this yet, so let's do it together. We have to add the orange tag to Orbit because that's where all my plugins are. So let's do it together. Here we go. Orange, yay, we did it. Okay, now it's here. And also, I haven't done my custom theme in here. Maybe I should do it also now. So let's get the colors. To sound kind of busy, so I think I'm gonna choose like a fast rate. Okay, this is the resonant. The second chorus is kind of nice. By the way, if you're curious, this second chorus is modeled after, or not modeled after, but inspired by the character of the Juno chorus. I think that's kind of nice, but I'm not totally sure about the, first of all, the reverb. And also the sound is not maybe the best. So let's change the sound and see if we can find something a bit better. Oh, this is nice. I immediately found something. And let's take away some of the resonant low mids from the sides. I can't decide between the second phaser and the second flanger. Let's go with the second flanger, and I have to actually edit the MIDI a bit, I think. Maybe you can go like that. This could be more apparent. I'm not sure if we need the further here. Or if the sound is right. Maybe the sound isn't right. Oh my god, am I again gonna change the sound? Alright, let's change the sound. I love how it's positioned in the mix, but I'm not sure. Like something about the sound I think just wasn't right. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna change this soon as well. We could still use... I know we have so many elements already, but I still am kind of missing some frequencies to really make it full. Let's try to look for those. Alright, so it's not the high frequencies, I think it's this area here. Then we go... or maybe like that. Alright. That's so subtle. Let's hear it in context. Oh, that is actually better. It's much wider. Okay, then what are we gonna do? We tried to use these. It might be a bit lame. Let's give it a go. Alright, I know I have the like this section's effects, like it's way more wet than it is in the intro, so this would be kind of the intro sound. Wait, or is it? It's still pretty quiet. But I kind of like how we have the reverb, so should we try to like do something like this, where we kind of have the same vocals but they are not doing as much. let's bring in these. Okay, then we need to kill the delay on the vocal. Actually, you know what could be cool? As the last thing, let's try to... I'm actually pretty proud that I'm able to finish the track so quickly. I thought it would take a lot more time. I've only been filming for 1 hour and 14 minutes. So it's been super fast and we might already have the arrangement. But let's try to do this kind of cool distortion effect for the ending and see if it even works. Okay, so then we'll have this one mapped to the gain here. And then here we will have maybe fat. So let's give it a go. Now if we turn this up, it'll fade into the, from the dry to the distorted. I don't know how this works. Let's just give it a go. And then at the end, it should take away all volume. I hope this isn't too loud. Oh my god. All right. Can that actually be it? I don't know. Transient here, it's too much. Maybe that can be the final thing that we will do, is to automate the volume of this note here, because it's too much. You know, that transient there. Just something like this, maybe. -3. Yeah. Yeah, that's much better. Much more controlled. Okay, one more thing for this video and then we'll call it a day. Let's do some sort of reverse effect into the vocal here. So let's disable these. This is resampling and let's just record the vocal. Delete, reverse, reverse, and do this. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Alright, I guess that's it then. I might do some changes tomorrow or... Wait, what is this here? Let's get rid of you. What was I saying? Yeah, I might do some changes during the weekend or at the start of the next week. But at least now I have a lot of time to edit the video and I have also time to finish everything that I have to finish before the release of Orbit. Let me just pull it up here for you. Yeah, so that's the reason this week's video was a slightly more compact one, but I hope you still enjoyed it. I, for one, had a great time. I think the track is pretty cool. I've never really done anything like this before, so it's a nice practice for me as well. All right, that's it. I'll end the video here for week 40 of Project 52. Thank you so much for watching and spending yet again another week with me. It really means a lot. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel and would like to see the future videos that I will be releasing every Wednesday and some other videos as well about my plugins and whatnot, be sure to press the subscribe button from below, and also while you are down there, please also press the like button if you enjoyed the video. If instead of just following my journey of making all these tracks you would like to join me and also make weekly tracks until the end of the year, you can join the Sixth Temple Discord server from the link down in the description. And on the server we have a Project 52 text channel where each Wednesday we share the tracks that we made and give feedback to others. It's been a really fun journey so far, far, so I would like to thank every one of you who have joined the challenge even for 1 week. It really means a lot to me. Okay, that's enough of talking. Here is the track. I hope you enjoy, and I hope to also see you next week for week 41 of Project 52. So see you then. Bye bye.